Hello, everyone. My name is Adrian. Sorry that I couldn't be here fully to present, so I decided to record my presentation for you all. I'm probably, though, here in the South, just can't speak out loud because it's my mom's birthday. But yeah, my name is Adrian. For this fellowship, I really wanted to focus on the undocumented Filipino American experience. I have a personal connection to the undocumented community. I have loved ones who are undocumented or have DACA. If I were to quantify, it with the 6 degrees of separation, some might even say it would be zero. I'll leave it at that. Most importantly, why I wanted to do this is that undocumented Filipino Americans are a particularly hidden and underserved minority, even within the undocumented community and our own Filipino American community. Racialization in this country has severely limited people's perceptions on what it means to be undocumented and what it means to be Filipino American. Undocumented immigrants are not just Latino. Like I explore in my second project with misconceptions slash recent updates about undocumented immigrants. There are 152,000 undocumented Filipino immigrants just in California. Earlier this year, I got the opportunity to volunteer with Al Otro Lado, a border rights organization in the San Diego Tijuana region. Specifically, I helped with their family reunification program, helping migrants reunify with family members they were separated from at the border. What I saw in the program was that migrants come from everywhere, not just Latin America, and it was often harder for the program to help these cases because there were there was less support, less translators for their languages. There were folks who spoke Mandarin, Arabic, Turkish, Haitian Creole, indigenous languages. My point here being that the undocumented experience, and to a greater extent, the migrant experience, encompasses a variety of ethnicities, languages, and histories. On the Filipino American side, during undergrad, I was involved in the on campus Filipino community. I helped out with recruiting and retaining Filipinos in higher education, especially in the STEM fields, and I got to connect with awesome folks who were dedicated to this. What I didn't know, find, what I, the lack of was there wasn't much advocacy for issues that didn't directly affect our community, particularly undocumented issues. It was hard to disentangle in my mind because Filipino American issues, and undocumented issues were both just parts of the greater immigrant experience and inherently connected. So yeah, that's why I decided to focus my projects on that experience. My first project was a podcast interview with two academic counselors from the Undocumented Students Program at UC Berkeley, Keisha Arn and Camille Sims Rinko. They're to the right. Keisha's on the right, and then Camille's on the left. I want to express my immense gratitude and appreciation for them, not only for agreeing to share their story, but the work that they do for undocumented folks in higher education. I met Keisha and Camille when we were undergrads at Berkeley and part of the Filipino community there. I thought they were perfect for sharing two sides of the undocumented college experience. Firstly, their own story of what it meant going to college as an undocumented Filipino American. Secondly, now as counselors, how they serve the undocumented community at Berkeley and how their background helps them address specific issues and populations within that community. For my second project, the slideshow, which is at the lower left of this page, I wanted to focus more on the general undocumented experience and talk about common misconceptions as well as recent updates with policy regarding undocumented folks. Throughout my advocacy journey, I found that even allies, folks who were sympathetic to undocumented immigrants, they were still not the most knowledgeable about what it means to be undocumented and like the rights that you have, recent legislation that affects them, that in the long run, impedes many allies' ability to advocate for and help undocumented immigrants. It's a conceptual barrier to get through because many of the things I go over in my slideshow is, intimately known to me as it's the lived experience of many loved ones. It reminds me of this conversation I was having with someone else in our cohort about how solidarity should be non-transactional, but oftentimes, most times it isn't. I think it's because of a lack of knowledge and engagement that people want to help, but we just need to show them how. Hopefully, my slideshow can shed more light on our documented experience. Finally, my third project, the informational video, which is here in the bottom right. I wanted to focus more on the Filipino side, specifically OFWs and labor migration. Why do many Filipinos risk things like undocumented status, racism, and exploitation for work and the American dream? I think there's a sense of disillusionment across the board with work. You work these long hours at a job that isn't maybe your dream, pays less and less every year, but it costs more and more to just live. It's even more severe with immigrants, particularly undocumented immigrants, where there is an ideological aspect of the American dream that opportunity can be found and life is better in America, but then you immigrate and life is still hard. I'm reminded of this quote. I think some people attribute it to James Baldwin, but that might be false. It says, I have no dream job. I do not dream of labor. With the third project, I wanted to get to the crux of the issue of undocumented immigrants within the Filipino community. That the promise of labor and opportunity and migration, and cover the historical context there. So there's the projects I worked on for the fellowship. I want to thank Kuya Wayne, Angela, Dr. Scott for their guidance throughout the whole process. I want to thank the Amaro Kaya Initiative and the Laban Group for the opportunity to work on and share these projects. Thank you.